Good evening, everybody. Welcome to game number three of the Connie Mack League Finals in a 2024 World Baseball Association playoffs. As Cuba now playing on the road, playing against the Puerto Rico Vaqueros, Puerto Rico winning two games on the road and have taken a 2-0 series lead. And Cuba, with their season um, on the line here, to not make it 3-0, not like as if the series will be over. They'll bring in Livan Hernandez on a mound. And they're going to play against Jaime Navarro. Couple lineup changes. Eli Morero to catch today. Yuli Gurriel to replace Tony Perez III, who has gone 0 for 8 with 3 Ks. Bert Campaneris to move in a leadoff spot. Lourdes Gurriel to move lower in the spot. So both Gurriel brothers on and playing today. Over 48,000 fans on hand. The wind is blowing in from right at 11 miles an hour. So good chance that the ball's not going to go out of the ballpark today. Livan Hernandez went 5-3 with a 3.55 ERA. Jaime Navarro 13-10 with a 3.76 ERA. He's making his third start, and he's been hit pretty hard in both starts. We're going to get Cuba on. And Jaime Navarro looking to make a great start. Pitch much better than what he has in his first two because he's been hit pretty severely. The 0-2 to Campaneris. Called strike 3 and a fastball inside corner. One down. 16 for 56 with 3 homers and 5 RBIs. Robert with his third home run of the playoffs in game number 2. The 1-2. Ground ball to second. Alomar to Delgado. And there's out number 2. Fans of Hiram Bithorne Stadium very happy so far. 20 of 51. 5 home runs, 9 RBIs for Tony Oliva. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. So I got a bad pitch. A couple of strikeouts here for Navarro. And he looks strong as we go to the bottom of the first with Lindor, Alomar, and Clemente. Puerto Rico's at the luxury of hitting 5 home runs in the first 2 games. They're looking to keep that going. This is something that they needed to start doing if they're going to make some serious noise in the playoffs. Here's the 0-2. Livan Hernandez, good crafty pitchers, a drive to center. This is playable for Robert for the first out. Alomar, 14 of 50 with a homer and 4 RBIs, the 3-2. They're going to walk him. Clemente, who batted 346 this year. In the regulars, he's batted 346 so far in the playoffs. The pitch drives it to right field. Running over is Oliva to make the second out. The pitch to Palmero, the throw to second, not in time. He stole base for Alomar. The 3-0 to Palmero, Delgado, excuse me, they're going to walk him. And that'll bring in Juan Gonzalez, who has really hit the ball well, has hit 2 home runs in his last 2 games. It was the 1-2. Struck him out, nice changeup for strike 3, nothing across. To the top of the second is Cuba looking to pave away to something big here. They need to sort of get a game here. They need to get a win. Palmero, 375 average, 6 homers, 13 RBIs is the 1-1 pitch. Drives it to right center. What a nice catch there by Beltran to run over to make the out. Alvarez RBI walk in game 2 and an RBI single in game 1. So he's had some RBI hits here, but hopefully he can get himself a home run. A weak pop-up. Nice catch there by Lowell for the second out. Lourdes Gurriel. That just 216 now. Here's a 2-2. Drives it to right field. This will be playable for Clemente. That'll end the inning. And another 1-2-3 inning inside retired. Ivan Rodriguez, Mike Lowell, Carlos Beltran, all three of them been hitting the ball well. This pitch to Irod. There's a drive to center. High and deep, but playable. Robert, who races in to make the catch for out number 1. Lowell had a 2-double, 5 RBI game last game. The 3-2. And he struck him out. A nice slider on the outside corner. Beltran, 2 home runs in back-to-back games. There's a 2-1 pitch. Weak pop-up, a short. Cabaneros again out of the inning. Nothing going in the first 2 innings. Sides retired. Navarro coming up here. 8 earned runs for the first 10 innings in the postseason. Marrero, then Gurriel, then Hernandez. A pitch to Marrero, who batted 209 this year with 6 homers. There's a drive to left, down the line, a nice catch by Gonzalez for the out. Yulieski Gurriel just 1 for 2 in the postseason. Barely used, but they're going to get him a chance to play here. Weak ground ball right to the pitcher. Navarro throws the first and gets him. Out number 2. Livan Hernandez with a 1-0. Drives it to center. It is caught. That's on number 3. Navarro, then Lindor, then Alomar. Navarro, the 1-2. Ground ball to second. Gurriel to first to make the out. Lindor's 0 for 1. Here's a 3-2. Drives it the other way. That'll be for extra bases. Lindor rounds first, headed for second. The throw by Alvarez is inconsequential, and a double for Lindor with 1 down. A pitch to Alomar, the 3-1. They're going to walk him. Here's Clemente, a 2-1. Drives it to left. There's a base hit. And the bases are loaded. 1 down for Carlos Delgado. Walked his last time up, batting 225 with just 2 homers and 2 RBIs. The 1-2. Ground us 1 on the first 2 double play, and the inning's over. And they get out of a bases loaded 1 out jam with a 4-6, 6-3 double play. Wonderful pitching and wonderful defense by Cuba. Top of the over for Cabaneros. Looking to get on. There's a drive to left field. There's a base hit. That's Cuba's first hit of the ball game. Robert. Drives it to right field, but it's hooking foul. And Robert gets the bunt down. That'll be a sacrifice 1-4. And runner moves to second, 1 down. There's a Liva. A 2-2. Drives it high. It is deep. It is going. It is gone. Tony Oliva. With a 2-run homer. They now take a 2-0 lead. His 6th homer of the postseason. Oops, let's Put this back where it's supposed to be. There we go. And a 2-0 lead. Palmero 0 for 1. There's a 3-1. Ground ball to second. Alomar. Excuse me, to Legato for the second out. Alvarez 0 for 1. 2-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. But a 2-run homer by Tony Oliva, 6th of the playoffs, has put Cuba out in front. Gonzalez, Rodriguez, and Lowell. Livan Hernandez with the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Nice slider. Ivan Rodriguez a 2-2. Ground ball to third. Gurriel with a nice throw. And gets him out for a number 2. Lowell's 0 for 1 today. Drives it to center. Caught by Robert, that'll end the inning. And nothing across for Puerto Rico. As through 4 innings, Cuba up 2-0. Lourdes Gurriel, the 1-0. Drive to right field, playable for Clemente. He's a shades over right center, but makes the catch for number 1. Eli Marrero's 0 for 1 today. Here's the 2-0. Drives it to center, caught by Beltran, is at number 2. And Yuli Gurriel drives it to left center for extra bases off the wall, winds up at second, and makes it in there with a double. Cuba starting to make some really good contact with the baseball. Here comes Livan Hernandez. 0-2 pitch. Struck him out. Nice slider to end the inning. Despite the double by Yuli, nothing across there. And Puerto Rico down 2-0. They're looking to get something going. Beltran, Navarro, and Lindor. Beltran hit a weak pop up to short and caught looking for strike 3 on a change for number 1. Bernie Williams will come on in a pinch hit for Navarro. Here's a 3-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3 on a fastball. Lindor, the 0-1. A drive to center. Robert will be under it. That'll end the inning. And nothing across for Puerto Rico once again. Bernie Williams, a pinch hit appearance, and he strikes out. Navarro pitches 5 innings, gives up 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned on a home run. And now we're going to see a relief pitcher in Jorge Lopez. Who makes his first appearance of the series. By the way, I'll take a look at the stat line for Navarro. 5 innings, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 earned, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. And Jorge Lopez looking to contain Cuba and prevent them from scoring any more runs. Top of the order for Camaneras, whose single was walked to was bunted to second, and Oliva hit a 2-run homer. The 0-2 to Jorge Lopez. Strike 3, caught looking. Nice pitch. Robert 0 for 1 with a sacrifice. Is the 3-2. Drives it to right field. That's a base hit. Robert's on. Oliva with a 2-run homer. It's 6th of the playoffs. Here's a 2-0. Ground ball to second. 4-6. 6-3. Double play. Inning over. Nice pitching by Jorge Lopez. And that'll bring about Alomar, Clemente, and Delgado. There's been walked twice and has stolen a base. Livan Hernandez to face Alomar. The 2-2. Weak pop-up to Gurriel. There's that number 1. Roberto Clemente, the 2-2. Struck him out looking. Nice changeup for strike 3. Here's Delgado, the 2-2. Drives it the other way, and that'll be a base hit. And rounding first inning second, a aggressive move by Delgado, but he makes it in there with a stand-up two-out double. Took the pitch the other way, and down the line it went. 0 for 2 for Gonzalez. The 2-2. Caught looking, strike 3. Nothing across for Puerto Rico despite the double, and on to the top of the 7th as Lopez is pitching a second inning of work. 0 for 2's Palomero. Here's a 2-2. And it hit him. He'll take his base. In comes Jordan Alvarez. The 2-2. Swung on and missed. Big fastball. Strike 3. Gurriel bunts, but hits it up in the air for round number 2. Eli Marrero's gone 0 for 2. Here's the 0-2, and he struck him out looking on a big-time sinker for strike 3. That ends the inning. And two clean innings there for Jorge Lopez as Rodriguez, Lowe's, and Beltran to come up here. 108 pitches thrown for Livan Hernandez, which means that the bullpen is going to get ready. Minerva Rojas and Diego Segui, with their first appearances, getting a chance in a bullpen. Here's the 1-0. Drives it to right center. Robert is under it. Makes the catch, and it's out number 1. 2 pitches. Nice catch by Robert. Lowell, 0 for 2. It's not hit the ball well. It was a 3-1. Drives it the other way and has a base hit, and Lowell's on. Carlos Beltran, the 3-2, walks him for ball 4. In comes Orlando Cepeda. He went over 1 his first at bat. Here's the pitch. Drives it the other way. It's a base hit. Loops it in there. And the bases are loaded with nobody out. Top of the order now. Here's Lindor. They're only up by 2 runs, but the bases are full. There's a pitch to Lindor. Line drive and a base hit. 1 run scores, 2 runs score. Lindor has tied the game. Just like that. And Francisco Lindor with a 2-run single. They have tied the game at 2. Here comes Alomar. First and second now is a 1-0. He blasts it for extra bases. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. And a 2-run double for Alomar. It is now 4-2 Puerto Rico. Unreal. They're going to walk Clemente. And out of the bullpen will come Minerva Rojas. He gets his first appearance in the playoffs. The 1-2 to Delgado. 4-2 Puerto Rico. Swung on and missed. Strike 3 and a big out. Gonzalez. Drives it high. It is deep. No doubt about it for the 3rd game in a row. A 3-run home run for Juan Gonzalez. It is 7-2. For the first three games, it has been 3-run hits that have sunk Cuba. A 3-run homer by Clemente to win it, give them the 6-4 win. A 3-run double by Mike Lowell to extend the lead to 9-5. And now 3-run homer make it 7-2. Unbelievable. Here's Ivan Rodriguez, the face, Minerva Rojas. Weak ground ball right to him. The throw to first and not in time. Infield hit. Pitch to Lowell. We pop up and Lourdes Gurriel is under it. He'll make the catch, but the damage is done. They have scored 7 runs in the 7th inning, and they've made this elaborate. It's now 7-2. Yulieski Gurriel. Here comes Juan Agosto. Here's a 1-2 to Gurriel. Weak ground ball. The catcher Rodriguez will fire to first and get the out. Cuba will bring in Tony Perez. A 1-1. Drives it. That'll be it for extra bases. And he makes it to second with a double. Maybe Cuba here's a high time to get these their bats going. Here comes Cameron. There's a ground ball to third. Fires at the first. Nice play there by Lowell. There's out number 2. Here comes Luis Roberts, 1 of 2 today. There's a 1-1. Ground ball to second. Alomar throws to first. Ends the inning. Gets the job done. Juan Gonzalez has now ripped his 4th home run of the playoffs. Top of the 8th here. In comes Diego Segui. Coming and pitch. Hopefully get these guys to settle down here. 0 for 2 for Beltran with a walk. Segui pitching as an 0-2 count. The pitch swung on and missed. Nice fastball for strike 3. Ruben Sierra to come in and pinch hit. Drives it up the middle. There's a base hit. Comes on over and drills a pinch hit single. Lindor, 2 for 4 and has driven in 2 runs. Ground ball to second, throw to first, get the second out. And now Alomar, 1 for 2 at a couple RBIs. Here's the 1-2. Swung on a miss on a forkball for strike 3. Nothing doing for Puerto Rico. They're at top of the 9th now. Oliva, Palmeiro, and Alvarez. Oliva with a 2-run homer gave him the lead. Here comes J.C. Romero. To face Oliva, Palmeiro, and Alvarez. 8.5 record, 2.95 ERA this year. Ground ball to third. Low with a nice throw. There's out number 1. Palmeiro 0 for 2 today with a walk. Here's the 1-1. Ground ball up the middle, right to short. Will fire it to first. Nice play by Lindor for the second out. Alvarez 0 for 3. I'll take him out of the ball game. I'm going to bring in Yasmani Grandal. Come in and pinch hit. And back from the right side. The 1-0. Weak pop-up. This will be playable for for Alomar. That'll end the ball game. And ladies and gentlemen, Puerto Rico has now taken a commanding 3-0 series lead. As Cuba is in deep trouble. Well, here we go. The final score, 7-2. Puerto Rico, they've now taken a commanding 3-0 series lead. One inning where they scored a run and they made all the damage in the seventh, scoring 7 times off of Livan Hernandez and Minerva Rojas. For Cuba, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 7 runs, 10 hits, no errors. The winning pitcher in relief is Jorge Lopez. He goes to 2-0 in the postseason. The losing pitcher is Livan Hernandez. Yeah, he was pitching great for the first 6 and really couldn't get out of the mess that he made in the second. And then Minerva Rojas just made it much worse after. Just a fine pitching performance by the bullpen, as once again, 4 shutout innings for Puerto Rico. And they get the job done. For Livan Hernandez, 6 in the third inning, 7 hits, 6 runs, 6 earned, 5 walks, 7 strikeouts, no home runs. He does pick up a loss. Minerva Rojas, 2/3 of an inning, a hit, an earned run, a strikeout, and a home run. And then Diego Segui, 1 inning, 1 hit, and 2 strikeouts, but is of no consequence at this point. And a tough way to lose. As Cuba now facing elimination and a chance to see their dream season just fall flat on their face. Not something they were looking for. And they're hoping they've been close to these games. They've taken leads, and they've just seen Puerto Rico just play well in the second half of games and just simply just take the game and snatch the victory from the jaws of defeat. But kudos to them. They've played some great baseball. They've done a stellar job so far. And have done whatever they could to make sure that they compete. I mean, they were there through 6. They had 2 runs. Maybe their offense wasn't in sync too much, but they did quite a bit, just enough to get the lead, and their pitching just didn't get through what they needed to do. Down 3-0 now, with a chance to close the series. Cuba will likely send Louis Tiant. And now Puerto Rico has a chance of bringing either Javier Vasquez or Jonathan Sanchez to pitch. Although they have a plethora of choices as they're getting ready to go for the jugular and try to end this series fairly quickly. Final score 7-2 for Puerto Rico. I thank everybody for listening and watching today's game. Please follow us on our World Baseball Association page on YouTube. Please subscribe, follow, like this telecast, and leave any comments if you feel like whether it's good feedback or bad feedback. I'll be happy to hear your comments. And I'd like to thank everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Take care. See you next time. And as always, keep smiling. Bye, everyone.